Thought I'd give my thoughts on last night's WWE Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view, the first annual. Um, First match was Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. I've no interest in either at the moment. They've just been both booked quite poor, especially Bray Wyatt, who is like a losing streak at WrestleMania. Forgettable match. Bray won. Now, before I continue on with this video, I've been falling out with the WWE product this year. I think 2017 has been the worst year I've watched since 1991. And, I got into it with Hulk Hogan, Warrior, Jake the Snake Roberts, Demolition, Andre, all them. Then I grew up with Stone Cold Steve Austin and co. It's been a struggle remaining a fan this year specifically. But before I continue on with the review, I'm already been really struggling to stay a fan, and I think this, it was a solid event overall. But again, with the way WWE's been overall in 2017 and in recent years, I don't think I'll be ordering a B show again for a while. I only really ordered for Brock versus Joe. But continuing on with my review, I think the second match, a very forgettable match, Enzo versus Cass. Who cares? I couldn't give a flying fuck about this feud, or either of them, to be honest. I watched this event with my cousin, and then we watched Alt Culture's Adam react to this pay-per-view, and he mentioned how Enzo gave one of the best promos ever, or of his career, and I've really put me to sleep, that promo. I mean, I must be out of touch with wrestling these days, because there's a lot of things that seem to happen, with guys like John Cena and Roman Reigns that some people praise, and I'm like, no, I wasn't very good, and so perhaps it's me it's out of touch, I don't know. Third match tonight, I believe, was the tag team match. Sheamus and Cesaro, two great workers. This is going to be a controversial opinion, but Hardy Boys, they're pretty good, but I've never been a big fan of them. This match, though, was probably one of the best matches of the night. I do enjoy the tag team of Sheamus and Cesaro, but I think for me, the Hardy Boys are they one of the best tag teams ever? I don't think so. I think they're kind of overrated. I think what was next up? Oh, another forgettable match. Dean Ambrose. If Dean Ambrose got released from the WWE right now, you wouldn't even notice. And it's not him. His push has been horrendous this last couple of years, or his lack of push rather, and the way his character's written, and the way he's been. Last couple of years, it's just he's cringe. The Miz is actually quite good, but again, I look at the Miz and I think, well, he's never really looked like a wrestler. I wouldn't go across the street to see the Miz. So he doesn't have that star power. Match forgettable. I can't remember much what happened. I think Sasha Banks v Alexa Bliss was up next. Both easy on the eye. Alexa Bliss, very, very beautiful woman. And they had a good match. They had specifically after the match, that spot where Sasha Banks jumped on Alexa Bliss. That was quite a well done spot. And that moment when Alexa Bliss, I genuinely thought it was real to begin with, because I hadn't seen it done before, when she had her elbow, I've had a major elbow injury in the past, and then when I seen her elbow turned over like that, her arm turned over like that. I thought it was real for a split second, so she had me fooled. So that was a nice touch. Um, she's definitely could go down as one of the best ever. Um, then we had, I've moaned about Roman Reigns a lot in these videos this year, but and my younger cousin, he doesn't like him either. Um, Roman Reigns, just the push has been ridiculous, hasn't it? It really has. I mean, going over the Undertaker at WrestleMania. How many Royal Rumble matches has he ruined? 3 main events at WrestleMania in a row. It's like enough. But you know what? Going into the match, I said to my cousin, I'm going to give Roman Reigns a chance. I'm going to watch the match from a neutral point of view, and I'm going to give my honest opinion of the match. And I didn't think it was that great. Michael Cole said this is incredible throughout, but I thought it was fairly mediocre. It's what happened after the match that people will remember it as perhaps the moment Roman Reigns finally turned heel. And I think he has turned heel. I mean, I don't think they can pull off the babyface Roman now. And I mean, he was very heelish. I mean, he tried to kill Braun Strowman in kayfabe with that ambulance. And Braun Strowman had like his Austin WrestleMania 13 moment where he refused the medical help and walked off. And he came across as a badass babyface. I didn't think the actual match was that great. That member I've seen a lot better. Perhaps my standards are too high for wrestling because I grew up during 2 wrestling booms. I caught the Hulkamania, then I grew up with Austin and The Rock, and Ruthless Aggression era was pretty solid too. So perhaps my expectations for wrestling is too high. But I will say, despite my negative things I've had to say about Roman Reigns and his wild push, I am quite intrigued now as where he's going to go. Perhaps turning heel will be what's needed to make Roman Reigns interesting. Now on to the match. I ordered this event for this match. I'm a big Brock Lesnar fan. He's in my top 10 wrestlers of all time. I think anything, he's actually underrated. He's a once-in-a-lifetime star. Samoa Joe, I enjoy his work too. And I thought the match was pretty damn good. Not as good as it maybe could have been, but I thought it told a great story. I thought Brock sold very well. I thought, despite winning, Samoa Joe was made to look pretty strong. And I don't think this is over. I think there'll be a round 2, round 3 perhaps between the two. And yeah, there was definitely areas of the night overall. The tag team match was pretty solid. The Roman heel turn has got me intrigued to see what happens. And I thought Brock v Samoa Joe was like a 4 out of 5 star match, I would say. And I just you wonder where they're going to go next. Now, before we watched Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view, I did have a look at John Cena's return promo on SmackDown. Was I impressed? He's supposed to be one of the greatest of all time. I thought it was standard John Cena promo. I'm always amused why people think he's one of the greatest of all time. I think he's, he wouldn't be near my top 10. He wouldn't be my top 20, 30. I could name 50 wrestlers that are far better than John Cena. At least 50. I just don't think I think the WWE machine's been behind him. And I had a wee Twitter, I wouldn't say beef, I had a wee Twitter exchange with a younger fan, John Cena fan, quite recently. And I just kept asking, how many boom periods has John Cena created? Um, she was like, but people tune in to see John Cena. I've never tuned in to see John Cena. I tune out not to see him. I think him, Roman Reigns, and Triple H and their pushes have been pretty bad for business, and I think it shows, especially with this latest Roman Reigns push. I mean, a lot of fans have said I'm enough. I've nearly quit watching. I mean, this was quite rare last night watching a WWE show. I've just, nearly had enough. But perhaps they've turned it around now, made him heel, um, and perhaps WWE can turn things around and it'll be watchable again, because it hasn't been for ages. And I love wrestling, but I just don't like the company at the moment. And I was laughing to myself. This is been mentioned quite a bit online about how they exploit charity. And lo and behold, after the first match, they were going on about how great they are with charity again. It's like, oh God, it's sickening. Pass me the sick bucket. Enough, I can just see through them. I don't think WWE, the company, I think are one of the best heels ever. They troll the fans a lot. They talk down to the fans a lot. We disagree with them. But yeah, hopefully, I want wrestling to be great again. I want a third wrestling boom in my lifetime. Will it happen? Probably not, if I'm being honest. But hopefully, it'll be more watchable going forward. And well, I'll still have my serious links to Raw and SmackDown just in case anything good happens. Overall, it was B show. I'll give it a 3 stars out of 5 overall, despite there being a few matches that were very forgettable. But Alexa Bliss v Sasha Banks was solid. The main event was quite solid. Roman Reigns heel turns intriguing, and the tag team match was pretty damn good. So yeah, I think 3 stars out of 5 is a fair rating for WWE Great Balls of Fire. Talk to you all again soon.